Okay, so the question was how to make this question a better question, because what we've got here is we've got a list of planets and a list here, and the problem is that that goes for one spot, that goes for one spot, that goes for one spot. So even if that is a terrestrial planet, if you put it down here in the list, it would be wrong, but there might be right or whatever. So how can I make this so that the students can pull them and put them up there and it's always right? Well, it's a hard one because it's a list of questions, but it is doable. So here's how I would do it first of all. If I was going to make a divided list like this, I'd add a table and I'd make it a 2 by 2 table. So I'd create that table in there, and then, oops, I grabbed the wrong question somehow. Leave. Sorry. This one's the one we wanted to show. There's my list. So I go down here and I'd add a table that was 2 by 2 and say create table, and then I could go and put terrestrial planets up here, and I could go and put my gas giant planets up here. I'm not sure why that one shows centered and that one doesn't. There we go. So now I've got the list, and I've got a list of these 4 things here that are going to go under that list, and I've got a list of these 4 things here that are going to go in this list. I've still got the same problem, by the way. However, I know 1 and 5 are competing against each other, so I could go down here, and this is where it's going to be kind of strange. I'm going to say 1 and 5 are part of group 1, 2 and 6 are part of group 2, 3 and 7 are part of group 3, and 4 and 8 are part of group 4. Okay, so now what I've done and said Mercury can only go in one, so it can only be in the top spot of one of these lists. Now I realize that just made this easier in a way for the students. However, because they're color coded now, they can't put them out of order. So I'm going to divide this a little better because it looks kind of crummy. But now when I go to do Mercury, I can't put it in the wrong spot. It won't let me. So I have to either pick, is it terrestrial or gas? And yes, now I only have one spot to put this. So it kind of made the question a little easier. Which one of these is gas and which one is terrestrial? So I'm going to go and I'm going to put Venus up here. And you see how they're color coded. There's no way to get both these in the wrong spot on the wrong list. So that's what grouping them does in something like this. And like I said, yes, it made the question a little easier, but it also makes it so that it will grade it correctly. And I'm going to fix that table real fast while I'm here too, because that did not look the way we wanted it to. I'm going to go ahead and take and go to the table and go edit table, and I can say, hey, I want a border around each cell, a solid line, and we're going to make it red. And I'll make it a little bigger. I'll make it pixel size 2. And I'm going to update the table. No, don't like that, do I? Border color, background color. Oh, I didn't want a background color. That's what I didn't want there. So let's go and look at this now. When we save it, and take a look at it now, and I might want to make it a little bit better. That kind of lined up pretty good. I could center the whole table underneath that too. So list which planets are terrestrial planets and which are gas giant planets, and then they've got that list there. The other thing I could do to kind of pretty this up a little bit is take away all this space at the bottom that I deleted all the other stuff from. So all that space will be gone, and I would say that space doesn't need to be there as well. That's probably pretty good right there. So that's all I can say you could really do if you want to have people drag words to a list, because otherwise the order would count and you don't want that to happen either. So that's it. The only other thing I could say, let's see, last thing we might be able to do, I don't know if it was already checked. You already clicked shuffle, and that's it. Oh, the other thing you could do is say unlimited. And I know that's going to seem weird with this one, but if you say unlimited, then when they do it, it kind of gives them one more mistake they could make. Mercury is terrestrial and gas. I don't know which one. I want to make sure one's right. Um, yeah, I don't know if you want to do that or not. You can see it went away when I had used both of them. That's another thing that you can do with those two is if you want to give them, they're not sure which one. I don't know if that makes sense with this one though. So I'm going to uncheck that one just because I'm not sure if it, but you can see what that is. So that's a little way you can do a list that is not ordered is by grouping the responses together so that each one only has one of two choices.